Everybody, how's it going? Give everybody a few minutes to get in. Looking forward to having Chris talk today. So welcome everyone.
Hey, Krista.
If you are, go ahead and say in the chat something you're working on or say hello, something's going on. Yes.
This email I've been getting about this party that Jay's been sending out, isn't that today at this time?
I'm sorry, the what today?
Jay has been sending out this email about a party. I thought it was today in the lounge.
We can party if you want to party.
What? Krista,
I'm sorry that it's not coming in very clearly.
You're frozen.
Don't worry, Ted. No, the Cecil party, it's next Global Lounge call is something that we are coming up with, that it will be connecting through JB's a little bit different.
Okay.
However, I would really strongly recommend that you stay here today because Chris
I'm not going anywhere. I was just thought it was
Chris will be leading the tech and strategy call, and he is a master on his field.
Victoria, do you want me to get started or do I take it from here?
Oh, give just a couple of minutes, Chris. We'll just wait.
Amazing.
2 more minutes for people to come in, all those lost birds that have not yet found the link. But welcome everybody to the Global Lounge Tech and Strategy Call. If I sound like a Muppet, it's because yes, I'm sick. But Chris will be speaking for most of the call.
All right, I am logged in, but I can't tell if I actually have strong enough connection, and I don't know why. Anybody there? Can you hear me, Victoria?
Yeah. Yes, you're freezing a bit up, Krista, but we can see you, we can hear you.
All right, well, I'll be passing things off to Chris anyway, so he's going to have the show. Can you hear me enough for me to introduce Chris?
Yes, go ahead, Krista.
All right, so welcome everyone to this month's Global Lounge Tech and Strategy Call. Such a pleasure to have everyone here. This is, we always try to bring in really incredible people, and especially those who are within our community. And Chris is part of our Blast Off Mastermind. We recently met Chris in Cabo San Lucas at the JBology Summit, and he was there with one of his colleagues, Dan Martell, and both those gentlemen just really made such an impression on our group, and we're super excited to have Chris joining us. And Chris is a sales strategist. He's trusted by the New York Times bestselling authors and 8-figure companies and industry-leading brands. He's created more than $10 million in online sales for himself and clients. And he's obsessed with crafting breakthrough marketing campaigns, creating newfound profits for clients, entrepreneurs who want to sell authentically. So give me a yes in the chat if you would like to be better at selling your own stuff or whatever it is that you sell. And that includes, give me a yes if you like to bring more money into your business and into your life. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Well, that is what Chris is here to do. So I'm going to pass the microphone over to Chris, and he's going to lead us in a really fantastic workshop today for our Tech and Strategy Global Lounge call. So everyone, nice big jazz hands as we welcome Chris Rigoudis.
Awesome. I love those jazz hands. Great. So really excited for this. We're going to walk you through some good stuff in my eyes, but I just want to get a pulse check. I want to cover mainly how to get high ticket sales without phone calls, webinar challenges, just using emails, texts, and Google Docs. Now, from an overarching theme, is everyone doing something like this? Let me get a 1 if someone is currently doing something like this. Let me get a 2 if you've heard this before, but you're not doing it. And let me get a 3 if I've never heard any of this before. So 1 if you're currently closing high ticket sales without webinars, without phone calls. 2, you kind of heard about it but never tried it. 3, no idea what's going on here. Okay, awesome. This is going to be a fun one. Steve might be able to be my sidekick, but I can be his Robin to his Batman, but I think we're going to have some good stuff here. Now, let me share my screen so everyone can see my presentation. All right, so let's kick things off. Now, you're in the right place if your email list or your community or your social media following looks like a leads graveyard in most days. You're spending hours on Zoom calls, pushing and shoving and selling instead of leading people in your programs, your services, your products. You crave sunsets with your spouse over strategy sessions, over 45-minute growth sessions, over all those Zoom sessions, other than the coaching, of course, because we love coaching, but selling, not so much. And if you want to close 2, 5, 7, even 25K deals in the same time as it takes to schedule just a phone call, if that doesn't sound terrible, you're in the right place. Now, some sort of cool stuff that we've done over here, we've added more than 2 million to a client's business in 16 months using this exact system that I want to walk you through today. Engineered the launch of an online hyper authority, which generated $250,000 in a couple of weeks. Worked with 7- and 8-figure companies, New York best-selling authors, Dan Martell, Steve Olser, Jay Abraham, recently, Eric Su, Consulting Success, and hired by some of the biggest influencers online. You don't really care about that stuff. I'm going to get to the good stuff. Just wanted to cover it, making sure I wasn't a scam or anything. So my promise to you today is really this. You'll walk away knowing how to close 2 up to 10K deals using email, chat, or texts. You will switch from webinars, if you want to, webinars, 7-day challenges, and fancy sales pages to simple Google Docs. And you will be able to cherry pick ideal clients from seemingly lukewarm lists or audiences, because we already have those here and there. Now, in return, I ask you to do something today. I ask for nothing else. I just want to see action from you. And I'm here to give feedback, but I want you to take this. I don't want this to sit gathering digital dust inside the Facebook group. I just want you to take something from today, implement it so we can get some sales. And I'm here to support you along the way. Now, let's start by chatting a little bit about the chart conversions model and the high-level view. Now, at the end of the day, we want to show up as leaders. We are business owners, we are founders, and we created this, of course, for freedom, to lead people, to serve people, to make an impact. But of course, we want effortless revenue as part of all of it. So the first step of having that effortless revenue is increase our lead flow, right? If we don't have predictable lead flow, we cannot have effortless revenue, we cannot impact people really. So it all starts with attract. How do we attract the right people? And we take them from the online noise and bring them into our world. And the first thing, and we go from hot to lukewarm to cold. But an untapped in most businesses, we have untapped source of leads. And it's really, it's about reviving, reactivating, and really circling back with people. And it's not just a usual follow-up or emails and stuff. I'm going to walk you through it. But it's really reviving old conversations. This could be people who join our webinars, old customers who have churned, people who we have had the sales call in the past, but never bought. It wasn't the right time. Or just people who are sitting on our email list or our Facebook groups, or even on our Facebook feed, but never really pulled the trigger on our stuff. We also want to throw nets out there. we don't want to just to reactivate people and revive conversations, but we also want to throw nets out in the marketplace, essentially sending invitations one-to-many. So we are able to put out there a compelling message and one-to-many get many replies back, drum up interest and demand for our services, and really engage in conversations. Last bit, and here we go cold. We want to start flirting. And I don't know about you, I usually flirt one-on-one. If my girlfriend was here, I would get a spanking, but I don't do it. In case she watches the recording, I'm not flirting right now actively, but we want to flirt with people, especially when we're going after cold audiences and we want to flash new leads into our pipeline. It's a good idea to add into our world, and we can start having those one-on-one conversations. Flirting, though, doesn't always have to be with strangers. A lot of times we have a person in mind that we really want to work with. We can picture them, but they have never really reached out to us. They never asked for our help. Well, what if there was a way to reach out to them, have an actual conversation with them and convert them, but without having them reach out to us and waiting for us and all of that good stuff. Now, as we increase and drum up that demand for what we have, we want to increase the quality of conversations. We don't want to talk with people who not necessarily have the funding, they're not the right fit. We want to make sure we filter along the way. So how do we start filtering? And we want to make sure always it's the right fit, right? We always have to have ideal criteria for who we're working with. If we don't have, we cannot charge as much as we can. We're going to hear complaints because our service is not the best thing for them. It's not the right fit, and they're not going to get the results. So we're not going to get referrals from them. So it's really important to filter for the right fit on the front end. We also always, during our conversations, we want to open a gap. What's their current situation, diagnose that, and what's their ideal world. If there is no gap, there is no sale to be made. So even on our initial chats, and I'm talking about not jumping on the Zoom with them, but it can be over Facebook Messenger, over email as we initiate on the conversation. We want to start drawing the gap and see if there's a sale to be made in the first place. We don't want to waste our time here. It's all about talking to the right people who have a need that we can solve. And last bit is the urgency. Is this a now conversation? Or are we wasting our time with someone that at the end of the call is going to be like, yeah, this is something I can look 3 months from now. So we always want to filter for the urgency when we do have these conversations. Now, it's all about increasing sales at the end of the day. How do we increase those conversions? And instead of selling and pitching and pushing people and pulling people, we want to send invitations instead. Because when we're pushing, we're salespeople. When we're inviting, we're leaders. That's how I see it, at least. Because there is something that's happening. We already have something solid to provide to the world, and we just invite people into it. And they can choose. It's their decision. They can choose to join us. We're going to have the party either way. So are you going to join or not? So we really want to position our pitches as invitations. And an invitation, especially for when it comes to people who are not the right fit, like I covered, I call this putting them in the microwave. A lot of people, they might not have consumed any of our content. They might not be the right fit right now. They might not have an urgent need. So we put them in a microwave. That could be our Facebook group. We put them through a webinar that we've had. We put them anything that can serve as a nurturing mechanism that educates them, but doesn't necessarily require us to educate them one-on-one. Now, as we move forward towards the conversation, and of course, we want to eliminate phone calls over time, but if we have something upwards of 20,000, I would suggest there are smart ways to implement phone calls here and there, or of course, we want to eliminate it over time. But this is where the juice is, and this is where we can start closing, and it works even for low tickets, talking from 200, 500, 1,000, up to 20,000. We can make sales using just Google Docs. Nothing else, just chats, conversations, and it's what I call really a party invite. Now, how do we start with the first pillar? And it's really attract and reviving our old leads. This is not something new. This is something that Dean Jackson, the marketing genius, came up himself, the 9-word email. Now, I'd like to get a pulse check. Just send me a 1 or a 2 in the chat if you've heard and used a 9-word email before, which chances are you have, and a 2 if you haven't heard of this before. Let me just pop up in the chat. Okay, so some people have heard it, some people have not. Okay, well, if you haven't heard of it, you're in for a treat. If you have, it's time to send another one. Perfect. I appreciate everyone. Susan, Forrest, Judy, Brenda, Roy, Carrie, Donna, Ted. Appreciate the engagement. So let's dive in. When it comes to 9-word email, what is it? First of all, real quickly, in 3 bullet points. It's a short, it's what we call a spear. It's short, personal, expecting a reply. So, and this can be both email, posts, social message, Instagram direct message, anything. It applies across mediums. But as we construct it, we have to think short, personal, it's something one-on-one, and it's expecting a reply. So it's a question, always. Now, we have to get in the mindset of what's in it for them. Like, what's in it for the person who's reading it? Because a lot of times we're sending a 9-word email out or we're sending a marketing message out, but it's really how can it benefit us? How can we make a sale? So we have to reverse roles here, and we have to think what's in it for them. And we always want to lead with serving, not selling. Now, when it comes to the actual structure of it, and because I know we've dug deep into theory, we're getting to the good stuff. So this is the basic structure of a 9-word email. Are you still looking to? Are you still interested in? Are you still running? So this is the basic formula, and it really summarizes in 1 word a specific and direct needs we can provide support to. For example, if I want to reactivate, recently we started doing some good work with Jay Fissett himself. So I recently sent an email that said, are you still looking to grow your business with joint ventures? And I got about 100 replies back. So this email, not only does it work, but it really cherry picks people who have a specific need right now and are willing to engage in an initial conversation to begin with. So this is a good formula. We can toy around with it, we can play around with it, but I'd love to run a little workshop. And I'd love it if everyone in this call sent a 9-word email today, and we're gonna talk about how do we handle it and how do we take it from there. But it's really a tool that if you're not sending a 9-word email to your list, to your Facebook group, to a personal audit, to your personal to a lead that you have discussed the past 60 days, and you're not sending one every 60 days, you're possibly missing out 5 to 6 figures, depending on your list, in revenue every year, possibly 7. So I'd love to workshop with you right now and really construct and help you put together the right 9-word email to send to your list today. So 3 mistakes to avoid. Let's make it about them, not about us and what we offer. Let's make it, I know it's 9 words. Sometimes it has to be lengthier because of the service or the message that we want to send out. And we have to make it easy to say yes or no to, so we do get responses. So I'd love to take 3 minutes here. I'm gonna put a timer, and as you post them in the chat, depending on the service or the product or the program that you offer, I'm gonna critique them on the spot and we can tweak them so you can send it out today. So I'm just gonna put the timer, and I'm of course available. I'm gonna see them as they come in. Perfect. So let's start with Judy. Are you still interested in getting your book written and published? I like it. So depending on your list, we're talking about different stages of awareness. So if you want to make a more direct offer, and this is just a suggestion, depending on the stage that you're helping them in as well. So you can possibly say, hey, are you writing a book currently? So you know that they're going to raise their hands, and these are hot leads, right, for you to jump in and help them right then and there. At the same time, another way to think about it would be, are you still looking in getting your book? Yeah, you can open it up a little bit more as well and say, are you still looking to get your book published? And Judy, I'd love if you hop on and we can brainstorm together as well. As I'm speaking them out, if you can unmute yourself and we can chat about it as well, that would be cool.
I'm unmuted.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I can hear you. So how do you feel about the little tweaks? Like, how do you feel? Have you sent one before, first of all?
Yeah, I send
Okay.
these to my prospects who haven't reached out for, it's usually more like 3 to 4 months as opposed to 60 days.
Okay. And how have they been working for you? Have you sent this version before?
Yeah, I have sent it before. I probably get somewhere around, if I send 20 out, I might get 2 or 3 responses. Most of the time,
Okay.
I don't get a response.
Are you sending this specific one, or are you playing around with
Yep.
messaging?
No, pretty much that specific one, because it's to people who've already told me that they're interested in getting a book done.
Okay. The only feedback that I have is because written and published, this is an entire timeline we're talking about, because writing a book, how long can it take?
Writing a book?
Typically.
Boy, it can take anywhere from a week to 4 or 5 years. It depends on-
Exactly. That's why it does sound like a hurdle to them. Are you still interested in getting your book written and published? Oof. If we can ask, are you currently writing a book, or are you in the process of publishing your book? You're gonna target different levels of awareness. So it's another way of slicing the pie. So you can possibly get in front of a prospect with a need right then and there. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, I'll try it.
Let's any questions? Did you want any clarity on anything?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, I appreciate you hopping on. And anyone else, I would love to. We probably don't have the time to do a hot seat with everyone, but are you still interested in boosting your productivity? So boosting your productivity, Ted, what does it mean for them, right? What's the benefit of boosting their productivity?
They get done so I work with entrepreneurs with ADHD, and they get done this tasks that are critical for a successful business that they're not getting done.
Okay, so what's a symptom of having ADD or
ADHD?
Yeah.
Well, one is that they have trouble getting stuff done. It could be procrastination. It could be they're disorganized. It could be they have trouble staying focused. There are a number of different things. So I want to focus on a result.
Yep. Yeah, so when I send these out, I do prefer when I make it, I want to picture it like, how does a day in my perfect prospect's life look like? And I want to pick out the tasks that they're doing and picture it as if I was watching it in a movie. So what does boosting your productivity look like? Or what does a symptom of not being productive look like? So are you still looking to fix, are you still looking to get done with your to-do list? For example, that's a symptom of your productivity, right? Or I'm trying to pull this out of thin air now. So What's another symptom that you mentioned? And it's really reverse engineering from their needs. And I want to be as tangible as possible. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Right.
So I want to move over to Lona. I don't know if that helps, Ted.
Yeah. Good, thank you.
No, for sure. Lona, would you like a strong personal brand? Again, what does it do for them, the strong personal brand? Like, so I'd like to go a little bit deeper there. Lona.
Okay,
So-
that makes sense. So I rewrote it. Are you still looking to improve your personal brand for your business? More clear.
Let's go deeper. So what improving your personal brand, what does it do for them?
Gives the buyers confidence in who you are.
Okay, so if they have confidence in who they are, what does it do for them?
What does it do for the buyer?
Yeah. What does it do for them? Do they buy do they enroll in the programs more easily? Do they buy their products easier?
People will trust them more because they have
Okay.
a clear picture of who they are. So it's a trust factor.
Okay. So you can target a symptom and be specific in, so not inspiring trust in the market. What would that look like?
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah. So if they're having trust issues with their market, how
Yeah.
would that look like?
So it would allow the market to, like, how would it look like? What question would I ask? You mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to do. That's what you want to do to have a personal brand, is it gives it trust. So
Yeah. But if we position it in a way, would you like a personal brand? It's like we're offering already something. What I
mhm.
want to do is, are you still looking to something they're looking to do? So are you still looking to position yourself as an authority in your marketplace? Or are you still working on, your personal brand? Or are you still tweaking your branding?
Okay. Great.
That make sense?
That makes sense. That's great. Thank you.
Daniel, are you still interested in reducing the impact of stress on your family? So again, we want to go deeper, right? We want to be tangible, reducing the impact of your stress on your family. So are you still, and of course, because it's a touchy subject, I want to say, are you still lashing out on your family because of your stress? Of course, I want to use more tact and be tactful about it, but I would just try to go deeper. Like, what's the impact? Like, if I would watch it in a movie, what would that look like?
Okay, thanks, Chris. Are you seeing your children becoming more anxious, something like that?
Possibly. Okay, so the idea is that they're transferring their stress into their family.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
because they're stressed themselves and they're not recovering, so they are sort of seeing what, let's say, a father who's really angry lashes out at his family, just not physically but in their words or whatever, and then seeing how he's nervous and frustrated. So
okay. That would your list, because I don't want to exclude a large segment of your audience in case they don't have a family, or do you only help people who do have a family?
well, we help all sorts of people, but my focus is on fathers, and my focus is mainly on fathers, so I want a sort of very father specific sort of approach to it, but I can adapt it.
Yeah, I would just adapt it just to open up my funnel a little bit, because it is specific. Like, are you still dealing your stress in your day-to-day?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an easy yes. Yuri, I see your hand raised.
Thanks.
You're muted. Yuri, you're muted. I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Sorry about that. So I wanted to just kind of ask you about this, how to say yes or no. If you're asking a question directly of like, are you interested? It is a yes or no question. Would you talk about that?
It is, we only want to ask a yes or no question, so it's easy for them to reply. I just want to hear them, their brain go tick, and they reply. I want to make it easy because I just want the leads to come down the pipeline at that stage.
So what do you mean by hard to say yes or no?
So that's a mistake that people make. So we want to make it easy for people to say yes or no.
Oh, okay. So we want them to say yes or no. Like,
exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I thought I was like, we are asking this question, but we want to make it hard for them to say yes or no.
No,
All right,
no,
go ahead.
it's probably not the right way.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna move forward because we have a lot to cover. I appreciate everyone, and you will have the option to contact me, and I will review them offline for you. I'm not gonna leave you hanging dry here. So what about if we want to throw a net in the marketplace, right? We don't just want, we will revive the list, we will have the conversations, but what if we want to throw nets in the marketplace? What do we do then? So I have 3 examples here, and I want to show you live, and you will have access to these. But when we know that there are people who want our services right now, we want to send out a direct invite. And this is an example of it. So as you can see, the subject line is super simple because it looks like it was sent by a friend. And it says, hey, Susie here, I'm just putting together a new group. And you can ignore the group or anything. You can replace this with anything. I'm opening up a few spots. I have a few products available, anything really. And looking for a few specific people. So if you are, and here you list your criteria. Remember the right fit that I was talking about earlier? Here we want to put the criteria of our perfect client or customer. So in this case, it would be an entrepreneur or a business owner making over 10K a month. So everyone who makes under 10K, they're out. 100% committed, so I can essentially weed out any tire kickers. Friendly and coachable, because we don't want to deal with, I don't want to say it. And you can keep a secret. This is just to spike their curiosity. Reply to this email and I'll send you the details. Simple, again, super short, direct, expecting a reply from people. Easy to say, easy to get a reply back. I'd love to answer any quick questions, or I can move forward right away. Three, two, perfect. So when it comes to nurturing, what if I don't only want to do direct offers, but I want to nurture my audiences? I have case studies, I've worked with people, and I just want an easy way to portray to the marketplace while having them, people seeing the results and having them reach out to us. I can put together a case study email. And again, you will have access to this. So here, I'm just gonna put, and this can be used again over social, in your Facebook groups, in your personal profiles, anywhere. So we're picking a persona that we want to attract, essentially, a client that we've helped, and we're telling a story of what was our struggle, but he has to be the hero. That's a key in these emails. We're not the hero for helping them. He's the hero. We're just an assistant along their journey. And you will have access to this. You can go through it to be respectful of our time, but I want to include their words that they said for me, so they are able, whoever's reading it, to resonate with what they're reading. And again, the call to action, I'm not sending them anywhere. I'm just expecting a reply. And whoever reaches back, we can engage in a conversation. So everyone will have access to this again. Now, moving forward, what if we want to put something out there and it's a colder audience? People don't know us. We're we're adding to our tribe, emails, social, where new people are coming in, and we just want to engage with them. Typically in these cases, what breaks the noise is a story. I'm just going to get an example that some of you probably have seen because it was posted in the group as the promo for this video. So it can be a personal story where, of course, you have authority elements, credibility, social elements, and it breaks the noise with the right copy. And I will give you access to this template. But as you can see, other than the positive feedback from people, I have a guy here that actually reached out personally to become a client. And it was, let's talk. So it doesn't have to be complicated. I didn't have to call this guy. I just put a post out there. He was interested. He resonated with the post. Let's talk. That summarizes the attract and the net approach. That's when I want to make a direct invitation for my products, for my programs, for whatever I want to offer to people. Now, I want to also put together attract net number 2, which is adding value to the marketplace. So this is a post, an example that we posted inside of Dan Martell's, one of my clients' group. This formula works very well, leading with the results and then asking people to comment. So this gets a lot of engagement. As you can see, this got 300 comments in the group. So these are all leads that we can send them the free resource, engage into chat, and over time, offer them something. So these are 2 different posts. As you can see, this got a lot more engagement, 3 times this one. But again, we have 72 people, over 200 people who reached out and are interested in something that possibly was a free resource that we put together that came from our main offer. Moving forward to the flirts. Now, other than using the net approach one-to-many, I can also reach out to people. And I don't have to reach out cold. We're not all about spammy stuff. We're not about sending cold messages to people, but it's about reaching out. We have conversation assets that we can open conversations with someone. For example, when they post a comment, when they like our post, whoever watches our story on Instagram, whoever engages with it, old friends that we have, old conversations, whoever requests and come into our email lists, we can send them a message, for example, just to give you a quick one. And this strategy is when someone opts into our list, instead of course, delivering what we promised and the free resource, we can send a second email. And what we use with clients is welcome abroad. If they want to get more clients, we ask, what kind of clients do you coach, for example? And this is a Taki Moore, very famous coach approach. Welcome abroad. He welcomes them abroad into their email list. What kind of clients do you coach? Now, this is a specific message also that we send when a new member comes into the Facebook group. So, and it can be a Facebook friend, it can be a group request, but name, welcome into my community. Would love to see if we can help you reduce your anxiety, improve your weight loss speed, write your book. What do you think you need most right now in your journey? And that engages them and gets them to respond back. And it's as easy as having even our assistant do it. When we have someone post it, commenting, just have them reach out and say, hey, name, appreciate the engagement on my post. Love your latest post as well, what you have on your profile. What are you working on right now? So we're really able to engage and have easy conversations with the market. Now comes the second part, what I wanted to cover of the flirt, and it's really how can we start bringing in new leads. And I have a process here But it's really simple. Getting into those Facebook groups that you can also use the posts that I covered above and adding to our audience, adding 5 to 10 of our ideal clients, posting in the groups, commenting on posts where we can add value. And of course, serving our audience. We're not only pushing our stuff, but it's really serve first. Creating a piece of content at least a week. If we can post on our personal, that always helps and creates engagement. And of course, we want to go back and respond to all of our comments. And this really serves, this is common practice, but it really serves us if we start implementing the flirt and the net. So it's kind of to multiply the results that we're getting. So we've been through quite a bit of stuff. I'd love to take any questions. I'll take just 30 seconds here. Open the floor to anyone who want to ask any questions, and I'd love to cover them.
I have a quick question, Chris. Those points that you point out, do we get access to these slides, or will we see a recording of this so I can look at those points a bit more in detail?
I will send everyone the slides for sure.
Yeah,
because because I have content in here that you can copy paste, create an SOP out of it, so you can definitely have access to the slides.
Cool. Yeah.
Chris, can you go into a little bit more information on what the bullets you have for bringing in new leads?
Yes. Did you want clarity on any specific thing, or would you like me to cover?
Well, like before you had hyperlinks that you could go to copy for. Do you have copy for these as well?
Yeah, for example, when I say create one piece of content for your group or personal page, this can serve as the post that I covered here is one of the posts that you can do. Like this would be when I say, other than of course commenting on 10 to 15 posts where you can add value, this is commenting into other people's posts so you can get visibility. So for example, if you were to join groups of authors, it would be investing 30 minutes of your time every day and answering questions or offering advice to everyone who's working on the book right now, and also adding people as friends from that group.
And you deal mostly with Facebook rather than LinkedIn?
This is completely, you can do this on LinkedIn all day, for sure. You send connections and it works the same way. For example, here, when we're talking about this script, you send a connection request. You can say, hey, Judy, thanks for connecting. Love how you worked, or I looked at you worked at this, or you went to this university, or I saw you were in Boston. And you can say, what are you working on right now? So you just open the conversation. You're not trying to sell, you're not sending them a pitch, you're just opening the conversation. And I have an actual chat that you can see later on, but here's the idea, just to give you a quick one. Thanks for commenting on my post, love the engagement. And this is SaaS specific for software, but you would say, I saw you were an author. Are you working on a book right now? Yes. Okay, perfect. What it's about? Perfect. Love the topic. How long have you been writing it for? Got it. Okay. So when do you plan on publishing it? So as you can see, there's a flow to the discussion. You can take these questions as a template and tweak them for your niche. Is that helpful?
Yeah. And you think this is only a half hour a day?
Yeah. A half hour a day you would spend into adding to your network. When it comes to the chat, this conversation can happen in minutes. You go back and forth with the person.
Okay, thank you.
Great question. Any other? Yeah, for sure. I saw two people raise their hands. Please, Yuri.
So here's the thing. I understand engaging in these conversations, but mostly my experience is that when someone is ready, they begin the work, right? And if you've made an initial good impact on them, or they are following you, they're seeing what you're posting, then when they are ready, they will reach out to you. So I'm curious to know, I understand, it's half an hour a day, you just engage. I find it very unlikely for someone to say yes. Let me rephrase that. It's not unlikely, but the number of those yeses to the amount of effort is going to be minuscule. So what are we really looking to do by engaging? Are we building community that ultimately will convert, or are we looking at a community that will be large enough and reflects a good number and then hence makes you an influencer, or like what? Because I feel like these little conversations, if someone writes that to me, I know they're going to pitch me at the end of it. I'm not interested in engaging in that conversation unless it's someone that I already have been following, already like, and then they don't need to pitch me. When I'm ready, I will start working with them.
Yeah, 100%. And thank you for this is a great point. So by investing these 30 minutes a day, it's adding to your tribe. And sending that initial message, not everyone has the same mindset. And I'm not saying it's the wrong mindset. I probably would follow the same too. Oh, this guy's going to pitch me something and I won't reply. But at the same time, by sending them a message, you're telling Facebook, hey, this is someone I want to be in contact with. So when you post this sort of posts, it will pop on their newsfeed. And they're part, whether they like it or not, they're your friends now. So you're able to attract them. That's really the goal. You will not close day one. You will not close someone you don't know. That will happen in 1% of 100 people.
It's mostly for Facebook. It's mostly for LinkedIn. Like the platform itself. It's the engagement that you're doing for the platform itself, and to grow the following, which of course has a good impact on your account and hence your followability. So that's what you're really doing it for.
But here's the thing. How do you know if someone is a cold or she's a referral that you haven't heard of before?
Repeat that question, please.
Yeah. So how do you know if someone is a cold, like they don't know you, they don't know who you are and you're just reaching out? Or how do you know if they've heard of you and they actually thank you for reaching out to them? They just haven't happened to be your friend before. So how would you know that?
Well, if they're following me, then it's worth that engagement, right? Because it's like sitting in a group of friends and not saying hello to someone. So that's worth it.
Yeah, but they might not follow you, but they might have heard of you.
Oh, I see.
Not that you just don't know, right? That's why you send the initial message, and that's 5 seconds of your time. You don't have to
those messages don't even go directly to your messages. They kind of sit
you add
in
them first. So there's a distinction. You add them first, they accept, and then you send them. No, we don't do cold messaging. We don't do cold messaging.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So it's mostly for the following and to grow that, and of course that has an impact in the long term. So
that's adding for your top of funnel. Yeah, we're not looking for.
It's for the top of the funnel. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm the reason I asked this question is because I haven't been engaged on social media at all.
So here's the idea. It's simple. And thank you for pointing that out. I just last thing I want to add, and sorry to interrupt you. It's really because you're having the opportunity to add value to them with these posts. So when you add 20 new people and you go and you offer a free resource like this one, and they raise their hands, you're able to provide value to them, not pitch them.
Right.
So once you send them that resource, you start building that reciprocity.
I got it. It's for the top of the funnel. It's really not. Yeah.
100%.
All right, got it. Thank you.
For sure. I've got to speed these things up, so I'm gonna move forward. I'm not gonna stay long in filter because you're gonna have access to the whole filtering conversation with the chat conversions here, which walks you through the questions to ask and how can you chat back and forth with a person. But essentially, the 3 Ideas are creating a gap with the question, where are you at today? And I guess what's the goal for the year? Identifying the urgency, like why do you think now is the right time for you? And cherry picking by your criteria. Are you currently spending X on ads? Are you currently writing a book? Are you looking to lose weight? Or how are your workouts lately? If you see them working out on their feed. I don't want to stay long here again because we have the invitations and I just want to zoom in there. So any questions about the filtering process? Perfect. So when we're talking about the invites, and just to cover the simplest ones first, we're talking about microwaving, again, when it's not a now thing. So when we're discussing with a person and we're seeing that, okay, we're chatting back and forth and, okay, what are your goals for the year? Yes, I want to publish a book. Perfect. Are you something you're working on right now? Not really. I'm sort of busy. Perfect. You can send them to the group. You can send them a free resource and microwave in a way that relationship. So if they're brand new into your world, if they don't fit your criteria, if it's not a now thing, we want still to be in touch and put them in a container, whether that's our email list, whether that's our Facebook group, our LinkedIn connections, or even a LinkedIn group. Now, when I prefer to do Zoom sessions, again, if it's a more of a 20K sale, I would just do the initial conversation and triage through the chat or through email, and then I would engage in a Zoom session. If I'm tweaking a new offer, so if it's a new offer that I want to play around in the marketplace with, I want to jump in the Zoom because I want to see, hear, feel their feelings, and really understand them. So I'm able to tweak my offer based on their feedback. So there are times where that Zoom call is needed. But also if I want to do deeper discovery, when we're talking about a more complex sales environment, we want to do a deeper discovery, and we can offer our solution through chat later on, but we can do a heavy discovery on the front end. Now, when do we actually get to sell through chats? And this is where the bulk of our discussion is. It's really installing a Google Doc with a can't say no offer, a stealth sales letter of sorts that feels personal, customized, and it feels that it's only for them. And the power of sending it, putting it in a Google Doc or in an email versus a sales page, it feels that we only wrote for them, even if they know that it's something that we could be sending to everyone, just because of how raw it feels, and it's not in a glossy, perfectly branded website. It feels more personal, it feels more custom, and it's in a lot of cases it attracts a lot more better than a website. Now, on those invitations, we want to remove all hype, all big claims, and we want to look at one specifically that's produced 1.2 million for a client. No hype, no big claims, just focus on what will get done with our offer. Like what we're actually is going to get done. No big claims, you're going to make this, you're going to make that. We eliminate. We're not marketing, we're not selling, we're inviting. So how does that look like? Let's look at a low ticket event sequence. You're going to have access to the conversation, and we can scroll back if there are questions. But when we're looking at the chat to sell the offer, like this is the invitation that we can send out. And it's really as simple as, hey, I'm running a small startup marketing workshop in this city and that date. Would you like to join me? You're going to get replies. Yes, 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 yes. You're free to disqualify the no's. Now, when it's low ticket, we don't want to do a lot of filtering and engage in that chat. We can actually send them the sales letter inside the email or the Google Doc. And this is what it looks like. We're going to look at the raw template and exactly what's happening here. But as you can see, it's an invitation. It's as if we're getting invited to a wedding or a friend's party. So here are the quick facts about X and X. I'm going to be working with a small group of handpicked attendees to help them dominate over the next 12 months. So as you can see, it's happening whether they want to join us or not. I'm not saying I'm inviting you specifically, and it's going to happen whether you join us or not. And there's power in that because we're detached from the sale. We're looking at the outcome. We're going to help them do this. We're going to help them do that. Essentially becoming, these are tech terms, but we're walking them through the plan. We're giving the price, the investment at the end, and all they have to do is reply and say, I'm in, so we can save a spot. Now, the reason I'm not putting a link here is because I want them to micro commit. I don't want them to send the link and hope and pray that they buy. I want to see their commitment by saying I'm in. And once they know I'm in, I know that these are people I should follow up with. And then once they say I'm in, yes, I love it, I can engage again and say, here's the link to lock it in. And this is only, you can put here only your cart link, not the full sales page, just the cart link so they can finish the purchase. And then you send them the welcome email and you're done. Any questions before we dive deeper into the structure?
Hey, Chris, it's Krista. Just a second, if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Most people have allotted an hour, so we're about up with that. I'm happy to stay longer and keep the room open because I want people, this is really valuable. And I know people have questions. So I do want to make sure that before people do have to jump off, if they have a call at the top of the hour, that you've shared with them how they can follow up or learn more from you. And then we can go a little bit, maybe 5 to 10 more minutes for those who are able to stay on. Is that work for you?
For sure. Okay. So I'm gonna put right now my email that everyone can contact me with to Chris Recruit. So using those two, everyone will have access to the slides and everything I went through. You're going to have access to the templates, everything that I walked everyone through, and everyone I'm going to cover. If you choose to leave, you're going to have access to. But please ping me if you do leave the call, because I want everyone to have this. So I'd love to answer any questions if someone has any. Otherwise, I will break through the structure of this letter, and then I can let you go and get busy. So I'm just gonna get 30 seconds, 10 seconds here if anyone has any questions. Perfect. So let's look at, please.
I was going to ask just real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you try to qualify any of the people that you're sending these messages to before you start sending them messages or engaging with them on that level? Do you try to see if they're actually a good fit for you?
Yeah, of course. So
okay.
let's look at an actual discussion. So for example, this is a summer invitation that we made for a specific program. I'm going to work with 5 business owners with a goal of doubling their business with Facebook ads the next 3 months. Would you like to join us? Reply back with summer and we'll send you details. Now, people replied with summer, this person, and we qualify here. So thanks for reaching out. It's Chris here. I'll send the details over. Can you help me help you? So especially in Hight-Ticket, we want to qualify. That's why I have an entire filter stage. I want to qualify hard. So because I want them, I don't want to sell them. I want to get them results. And as you can see, people open up. And if need be, I can answer follow-up questions. So we have clients that loves the course, funnels in place, few lead minds that are working okay, close it. So what I'm really looking for is, in this case, if the person is running ads, if he would be a good fit. So if I would be able to help him actually get return on investment in his Facebook ads. And he already said, we do have the cash to inject in Facebook ads, but we would rather have better ROI. So before burning the money. So essentially he's telling me that, yes, I want your help. I want to have a better ROI on my money before I start running random campaigns. So then I move forward with the pitch, the invitation, that's specific. I just follow up once, 2, 3, and then after discussing, would love to give it a go. Over time, he says, I'm in, and he chooses the payments. I send him the link and he's in.
Chris, hi, it's Krista again. I'm so sorry. I wanted to give you the extra time, but I realized our next meeting is also in Jay's room and he can't open, even though they're different links.
No problem at all. I took too long. So everyone will have access to this. Krista, if you can let me know also if someone doesn't manage to ping me, I'll be happy to reach out to them personally and
thank you, Chris.
answer any questions.
For everybody is this will be processed, and usually by the end of the day or first thing tomorrow, it'll be turned into a replay link and that will be placed in the Global Lounge Facebook group. That's a great place. In there in the comments, you can tag Chris. We can keep kind of any Q&A going. That way it's in one place and we can all share and learn from it there. So just keep an eye out for those for the replay that will be posted just as soon as it can be processed.
Thank you for your attention. I appreciate everyone. And I hope you try something out from what we covered today. Have a good one.
Everyone give Chris a big round of applause. I know we really appreciated this. It's incredibly valuable. We look forward to learning more from you. Appreciate you being a part of our community. Chris, as a part of Blast Off, is also in the Global Lounge Facebook group. So you'll find him there as well, as I mentioned, and look forward to using this. I want to hear from everybody who tries and starts implementing this, what your results are, so we can keep it moving forward with you. Everybody, thank you so much. And thank you, Chris Rigoudis, for being here. And
thank you, everybody. It's been great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
One last announcement to all of our Global Lounge members. The June 9th is our next JD Invitation Day. And we're doing a big summer sizzle party. So you should see posts all over our Global Lounge group page. If you would like to invite someone who's not a member, please connect them with me personally. I have a couple questions for them, and if I find they're a good fit, I'll be happy to invite them along to that Global Lounge party. We've been working really hard, Victoria, Michelle, and I, on creating some things to kind of, in a way, gamify, make sure that you know exactly what the right next step is for you to have greater joint venture success. And especially during the summer when some people we want you to be able to have fun and vacation and still get a lot accomplished. So we've created something that we're calling, it's like a treasure map. It's going to help you make it through the summer with success. So look forward to seeing you then. And reply, we've got it as a Facebook event. So say going, get it on your calendar and help spread the word. All right. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you in the Global Lounge Facebook group. Bye-bye.